Hey guys, it's Cheeto. Welcome to me teaching you how to Poistring. I'm finally making the video because I decided to not be lazy, but yeah. So, first thing you're gonna do is I have this file on my Discord. It's just the base file. It's just Poistring Cheeto for sharing. You're gonna right click it and you're gonna open with Visual Studio. And it'll open up Visual Studio 2022. If you don't have Visual Studio set up already, please watch my other video. That's how I taught you how to set it up and how to change the material. It'll bring you to this. This is just my stubby, which was just a handle short cool with a iron hammerhead small on it. Um, if you downloaded the previous file, you'll know that there is actual hash numbers where you have to put in the 4 or 5 digit hash to use an object, where this is a lot simpler, where I can just put handle short cool and then I can tab it in and it'll autofill. Um, what basically it's not hard. It's just copy pasting and autofilling these variables of putting an object onto a handle. Like all this is putting the hammerhead small right here onto the handle short cool via slot multi. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. So, like I just showed you, to put in something right here, let's say I want to do handle large cool. I just type in handle large cool until it'll pop up on this drop down and then I can tab it in. And you'll know it's the right thing when it's blue. Something actually I did forget to add is if you open this and say I get rid of this comma, it won't show an error. It'll say I have no issues, but if I press F5, it runs because if I try to do this, it won't run because there's no comma there to add on that additional object, and it doesn't show me an error right there. But if you go to poistringexample.sln and then the program.cs file in here, if I were to remove that and add this, it'll actually show you. It'll show you that it won't work. It'll give you an error right here saying you need a comma right there. Uh, that's just because I know a lot of people are going to be asking me why is it not working without any errors. That's how you can go and see all the errors. I don't know why it does that. It's just if you run the program.cs through the actual uh, SLN, it'll actually show you, and I don't know why it doesn't on the other one, but it does. Um, but like I said, if I just do handle large cool, I go down here, and this is what will show you what slot you have. So if I go here and I put in slot, it'll give me slots, but these are the slots for the handle short cool. I need these slots for the handle long cool or large cool. And then if I go over here and put slot, it'll show me the proper slots, which are the two multis and the two edge types. So let's just do the first multi that pops up, and then if I want to change this, uh, I guess large longsword blade, large guard rectangle, so I can add something onto it. So this is right now. This is just a handle large cool with a large guard rectangle on it, both iron. I already showed you how to change this. It's not hard. It's just this right here. If I, that's it. It's not hard. Um, Now what gets really tricky is adding on items, and this is where I got tripped up when I first started deploy string. Um, the main thing to remember is this line of code right here is the children equals new list. The new list part of it means it's a new item onto the previous prefab. Meaning if it's the first item on another item, it needs the children equals new list. So say I have, for instance, this large guard rectangle on this handle large cool. I don't if I want to add another item onto the handle large cool, I do not want this children equals new network prefab because it'll be the second item on the handle because this the large guard rectangle is already on there. If I were to be adding something onto the large guard rectangle because nothing is already on it and it will be the first thing on it, I do want to include the children equals new network prefab. So to know that you're copying stuff correctly, you can actually just highlight the bracket next to it and it'll highlight its corresponding partner bracket, which then you just copy from bottom to top to make sure you copy everything from the partner bracket all the way up to children equals new list. You copy it, and then if you're adding an item onto this item right here, it'll be the first comma. If you're adding an item onto the handle, it'll be the second comma. So right here, I'm adding something onto the large guard rectangle. So I put it in there, and to make life easier, you want to center it with highlighting it and then pressing tab or shift tab to make it go forward and backwards, just to line it up properly and make it look nice. I have just added a, well, I haven't added it properly because I need to go here, large guard rectangle, to have the proper slot, and then I'll just put great sword blade. There we go. I'll put a Evanon great sword blade on it. Why not? So I've just added an item onto the large guard rectangle. And as you can see, there is more than one comma now, and you will always be adding an item after a comma. You'll never be adding an item after one of these random brackets. So this comma, the closest comma, corresponds to this greatsword blade, which you can't attach anything to. There's no more slots on it. There's no slots on it. The second comma is corresponding to the thing above that, which is the large guard rectangle, which we've already occupied its one slot, so we can't put anything else on it. This last comma right here is corresponding to the handle large cool, which there's 3 more slots on it, so let's add something to that. Like I said, this will be the second item on the handle, so you do not want to include the children equals new list. So you're just going to include from here, you're going to copy, or well, you're going to highlight the bracket, go to its corresponding bracket and copy it, and then you're going to put it right after the comma. And then line it up properly and make it look nice. Gotta change this to handle long cool or large cool. And then we already occupied the first multi-slot, which is this one, so we can use any of the other 3. You can use the other multi-slot, which I'm gonna. And I'm gonna put, who knows, a chisel. Why not? I'm gonna put a Evanon chisel on the other slot. Um, that is pretty much it. You just have to be careful with adding that children equals new list, and it will show you, or it should show you, if you're not adding it properly. Like if I'm trying to add a second item and I do that, yep, it'll give me 2 errors. It'll scream at you. So you'll if you do where you actually open the program CS file inside of the program, then it or inside of the SLN, then it will show you when it's not gonna work. Um, if I have not explained it well, and if I can't explain it well, I guess I should say, then that is a fail-safe of just trial and error your way through it. If it doesn't work, try putting it on something else. Try adding the children or subtracting the children equals new list. Other than that, that's pretty much it. It's not hard. It's just comprehending when you need to add the children equals new list and when you don't, and where to add the item. So I'll go through it one more time. If I'm going to add an item, here I'll make this a raft piece side 4-way flat, or 2-way flat. Ooh, 2-way flat. I'm going to add an item directly onto it, which will be the first item of the on the 2-way flat. So I'm gonna add the children equals new list because it is the first item onto that craft piece side four-way. Uh, so then you need to change. So I guess I didn't necessarily explain this properly. This is what you're attaching onto the previous item. So if I want to attach a greatsword blade onto the craft piece side two-way, I need to put this here to know what slot I'm going to use. So then it'll give you the drop down for all of the slots, all the four slots. Which, if you're seeing that there's more than four, these are just favorited from what I've previously used because 2022 does that. But let's use 39368, which is just one of the edge types. I still don't feel like I've explained it properly. So, to add the greatsword onto the craft piece side two-way, you need to embed this onto the craft piece side two-way via this slot. So you need to make sure that this is the same as the previous item you're attaching to. If that works. And then if I want to attach another item onto the craft piece side two-way, I'm going to be using not the first comma because that will be corresponding to the greatsword blade. I'm going to be using the second comma because that corresponds to the craft piece side flat two-way. And then I can't use the same slot because you can't put more than one item on the same slot, so I'm just gonna I'll use 51672. And then because this has four slots, you can put four items onto it, so I'll put two more, which it's the same thing because that this is the first item, so it has the children equals new list. This is the second item, so it doesn't. This is the third item, so it also doesn't. And the fourth item won't either. It's a little hard to wrap your head around the first once you start doing it, but after a while, it's not hard. It's a lot of copy paste, and now that you don't have to use hashes anymore and slot hashes and all that, it'll be a lot easier. Um, hmm, that's honestly it. There is not much else that I can really say. If you have any issues, I will have the link to my Discord. Feel free to DM me if you have any questions. I will help you. Um, my Discord also has the base file for this, which if you ever mess up a file, just reload that. Uh, and that should be about it. My Discord is where actually, if you ever get good enough at stringing and you make a list like I have, you can post it on my Discord. I have a public string log. I'm trying to remember if I've forgotten anything or if I've told you all that there is to really know about it. Yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, please let me know. See ya.